Good morning everyone, and it's a bit grey and cloudy, matches my hair, doesn't it? I thought I'd drop in today. I had a conversation with one of our club coaches last night. It was quite an interesting chat. He was saying, how do you keep motivated? How do you keep going? And we've both come off marathons in the spring. Both did okay. And he said, how do you keep going? How do you keep motivated? Because he's pushing still same as myself, still trying to hit certain times, and he's mixing triathlons in. So some of you will know who it is. And he's saying, how do you hit those paces and hit those times when the motivation isn't quite as strong as it was when you're in the middle of a marathon block? And I get it, and I get it can be tough, and I get when you're just ticking over, when you don't have a goal to focus on, when you don't have that time-bound goal that you're looking for. It can be quite tough to be able to keep that going. However, one of my standards that I always try to hit is a certain amount of run sessions a week, and another one of the standards I have is that I always try to remain 5k ready. So what I mean by that is if I had to go out and run a 5k and I had to race it and run it hard, I would always be ideally within a minute of my PB. And doesn't sound that hard really when you think about it, but actually racing and running are very different things, and it's a different mindset. So I'm always in the mindset that I have a race coming up. Even if I don't have anything booked, I do, but even if I don't have anything booked, I will always have the mindset that I have to always remain 5k ready. So what does that help me with? Well, it helps me with motivation straight away. Even though motivation doesn't really come in with me, it's more about, as I say, hitting those standards. That's what's important for me. But if you have a goal in place that you'll always, and I mean always, be 5k ready, suddenly the speed work becomes important. So you then have to hit those paces because you have to be 5k ready. You have to go out and do the sessions because you have to be 5k ready. So then it becomes less of a goal and a motivation and I just can't be bothered. So actually, this is one of my standards. This is how I live my life. It's no longer a nice to have. It then becomes this is part of my DNA and who I am. I'm always ready to race short. I'm always ready to race hard if I need to. And when you get that, that's when motivation ceases to be the important thing, and that's when it becomes a little bit more ingrained in you. We've got guys at our club that race every single week and go out and he'll do a different race every week. For me, that's a bit too much. However, I can understand why they do it, because actually it means they are always ready to race whatever distance, and it's just their standard, different to mine, different to my standard. However, they have their own standard. So I would urge you to rely less on goal-based motivation and more on standard-based running DNA, looking at what you actually, where you want to end up as a runner, rather than looking at where you are as an event-based athlete. Still important, but it's just a different way of thinking and mindset. That's it, Andy over and out. If you've got any questions on that sort of stuff, as you know, just reach out. Anything you want me to answer, again, just reach out. Take it easy.